wife, Dadara, bore, Varshani, years, Satam, 100, Shankamana, being doubtful, Sura Ardhana, disturbing to the demigods. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Sri Maitreya said, my dear Vidura, Diti, the wife of the sage Kashyapa, could understand that the sons within her womb would be a cause of disturbance to the demigods. As such, she continuously bore the powerful semen of Kashyap Muni, which is meant to give trouble to others for 100 years. Please repeat. Sri Maitreya said, my dear Vidura, Diti, the wife of the sage Kashyapa, could understand that the sons within her womb could be a cause of disturbance to the demigods. As such, she continuously bore the powerful semen of Kashyap Muni, which was meant to give trouble to others for 100 years. Purport by Sri Prabhupada. The great sage Sri Maitreya was explaining to Vidura the activities of the demigods, including Lord Brahma. When Diti heard from her husband that the sons she bore within her abdomen would be the causes of disturbances to the demigods, she was not very happy. There are two classes of men, devotees and non-devotees. Non-devotees are called demons and devotees are called demigods. No sane man or woman can tolerate the non-devotees giving trouble to devotees. Diti, therefore, was reluctant to give birth to her babies. She waited for 100 years so that at least she could save the demigods from the disturbance for that period. Try to understand from the Acharyas. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Salakaya Chakshuvamilitam Mena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yatrupatamaham Mande Sri Gurum Denatarina Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Iswaram Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Sri Chaitanya Mano Vishtam Sthapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamiham Dadati Swapadantika. Shri Rupa Goswami Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. So in this 3:15:1, we'll try to understand the section how this chapter is laid out. Then we'll try to understand the last line is very important, significant, how it applies, what it means, and some of the reflections and the instructions. So in the context. So context here is Vidura is asking the question in the chapter 14, question number 24, question 2 to 4, where the Vidura Maharaj is mentioning great Mahajana. However, by disciplic succession, Hiranyaksha, original demon, was slain by the same Lord. What was the reason for the fight between demon king and Lord both? While the Lord was lifting the earth, I'm not satisfied. Please speak more and more to a devotee who is faithful. So 14 ended, but there is no question again. Further, Vidura is asking, but here Maitreya Muni responds because still that is not completed what he asked. So that's why further it is continued, kingdom of God, because the beautiful description has been given of the Vaikuntha planets. And this is not the first time. Already in the previous canto, we'll try to see that. So this chapter, kingdom of God, is laid out. These are, one must tax the brain. When we are reading the Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, tax the brain, try to reflect what exactly these verses are talking about, what Lord Krishna is trying to tell us, so that it helps us to focus more on reflection, remembrance, meditation, contemplation, recollection, absorption. This is very important aspect. So that's why we must try to do, not somebody has given. The sections which I mentioned before, few classes also, these are all my own reflections and thoughts. So 1 to 2, disturbance to the demigods, cause of disturbance, cause of darkness. And that is the significance of this very important point. 3 to 10 is the second section, demigods' prayer to Lord Brahma, reinstating the work, dispelling the darkness. 11 to 23 is third section, Lord Brahma's description of 4 Kumaras entrance into Vaikuntha and description of Vaikuntha planets and its residents. 24 to 25 is the importance of human form of life. 26 to 29 is 4 Kumaras crossing the 7 doors of Vaikuntha planets. And 30 to 33 is obstructing the progress of devotee. Very important section. Obstructing the progress of a devotee or devotees or seed of fear or disharmony in duality. So it's there everywhere in this world, even in the spiritual organizations also. It's a question of what we are bringing, what consciousness we are carrying. So 34 to 36, punishment or curse or anxiety of doorkeepers from curse and repentance. 37 to 45 is the description of the beauty of Lord of Vaikuntha. And then the last one is 46 to 50 is 4 Kumaras prayers. So in this way, this chapter is laid out. I will try to see the first instructions. The last line, if you read, here it is mentioned, Diti bore this pregnancy for 100 years. We'll try to cover some of the examples. So we have to have strong faith on Shastra, Guru, and Supreme Lord, Sadhu, Shastra, and Guru, and Supreme Lord. Otherwise, it's very difficult to progress in devotional service. So that's the last line is Sankamana Sura Ardhana. Sankamana means doubtful, one who is doubtful. And second one is Ardhana, disturbing the demigods. She's thinking, it will give disturbance to demigods. She was very much reluctant. So that's why she bore for 100 years. So what does that the reflection is also another way. We should avoid criticizing the devotee. We should avoid discussing about devotees' matters, especially in negative way. So Sandeha and Samalochana. These two things we must avoid. Sandeha means doubts. One must not be doubtful of the spiritual master, doubtful of Shastra, doubtful of the Supreme Lord. So that's why Krishna is mentioning. One who doesn't have proper faith is doubting. So Asraddha Dhana Purusha Dharmasyasya Parantava Aprapya Mam Nivartante Mrityu Samsara Vartamani. Most confidential knowledge, 9.3, Lord Krishna is mentioning. One who doesn't have proper faith, Asraddha Dhana, then he will never be able to attain me. Rather, he will be go into the downward planets. Mrityu Samsara Vartamani, birth, death, old age. He will be continuing in this process of life. Birth, death, old age, disease, life after life. Because faith is very much required. So Prabhupada is stressing that in the introduction of Bhagavad Gita itself. So that's why Sadhu and Shastra and Guru, one must have faith. So that is the first and foremost on that elaborate instructions. And if you go back to the previous verse where Prahlad Maharaj has been glorified in the almost, I think, around 24th verse or so, how Prahlad Maharaj became a fixed up devotee because completely as dedicated, he used everything in the service of the Lord. So, and there Prabhupada in the purport is mentioning how he has used, especially chanting and hearing, where it is mentioned 3:14:48 verse, I'm specifically quoting. Pravruddha bhaktyahi anubhavita saye niveshya vaikuntam imam vihasyati. Due to mature devotion service, very important point. Mature devotion, pravruddha bhakti. How you can get it? He will certainly be situated in transcendental ecstasy and will enter the spiritual sky after quitting this material world. And the purport, you see the proper Prahlad Maharaj would constantly meditate on the Lord and reiterate his activities. Because he would constantly remain in meditation, he would easily transfer himself to the spiritual world after quitting his material body. This is the last line, is very important. Such meditation is still more conveniently performed by chanting and hearing the holy name of the Lord. This is especially recommended in the age of Kali. So bhakti must be performed, and it cannot be done without the association of the devotees. Even karma mishra bhakti, jnana mishra bhakti also. Without bhakti, even it cannot yield results. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself, bhakta vino kona sadhana dite nare phala, saba phala de bhakti swatantra prabhala. The other process cannot yield results unless they are associated with devotion service. Devotion service, however, is so strong and independent that it can give won all the desired results. Ajagala stana nyaya anya sadhana ataiva hari bhaje buddhiman jana. With the exception of devotional service, all the methods of self-realization are like the nipples on the neck of a goat. Therefore, an intelligent person adopts only devotional service, giving up all other paths of devotional service. Because otherwise, we will not be able to even relieve from the bondage. That's why one must. Lord Brahma himself, how much we have to have faith and how much we have to concentrate on studying the Shastra and the association of devotees. Lord Brahma himself, in the second canto, he himself is explaining his own. And Prabhupada is making a very important comments in the purports. Bhagavan Brahma Karsnena Trir Anviksha Manishaya Tad Adya Avasyat Kutasto Ratir Atmana Yato Bhavet. The great personality Brahma, with great attention and concentration of the mind, studied the Vedas 3 times. After scrutinizingly examining them, he ascertained that attraction for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, is the highest perfection of religion. I may say so. That is, the Lord himself is mentioning, I myself is appearing in the Sadhu and Shastra and Guru. Shastra and Guru and Paramatma. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself is mentioned, so that we can understand how important it is to concentrate on hearing, reading Shastra scrutinizingly. Srila Prabhupada also stresses, Shastra Guru Atma Rupe Apanare Janan Krishna Mora Prabhu Trata Jivera Hayagnan. The forgetful conditioned soul is educated by Krishna through the Vedic literature, the realized spiritual master and the super soul. Lord Krishna himself is expanding himself, because Apaurushaya, that is why it is coming from the mouth of the Supreme Lord, this all the Shastra. And he is expanding as Guru, and he is expanding as super soul. So there shouldn't be any doubt on the Shastra. If Shastra says 100 years, Diti had kept the semen and the womb, pregnancy, so there shouldn't be any doubt. So it is not an impossible thing. So further now, to understand this aspect of devotional service is performed in many different ways. So that's why sometimes people may be hearing, people may be chanting, people may be doing kirtan, but not really developing a taste. They're not really progressing. What is happening? So that we have to understand. That's why devotional service is also 81 ways. So that's why we have to read Shastra to understand why you cannot hear from anybody and everybody. So why Prabhupada said sometimes somebody is doing Maya Kirtan, even though he's devotee. Why? Because we have to understand what the constant, whom are we singing for? So all these points are made by Lord Kapil Dev. 329, 8, 9, 10. Very important points are made. Abhisandaya yo himsam dambam matsarim yova sambrambi vinna drik bhavam mai kuryat satamasa. Devotion service executed by a person who is envious, proud, violent, and angry, who is separatist, is considered to be in the mode of darkness. The worship of the deity in the temple by a separatist with a motive for material enjoyment, fame, and opulence is the devotion in the mode of passion. When a devotee worships Supreme Personality of Godhead and offers the result of his activities in order to free himself from the inabilities of fruitive activities, his devotion is in the mode of goodness. Here is a very important verse, 329:10. Karma niraharam uddishya parasmin va tad arpanam ejet yat tavyam iti va pratak bhava sa satvika. In the purport, Prabhupada mentions, quoting Sridhar Swami commentary. Devotional service in the mode of ignorance, passion, and goodness can be divided into 81 categories. Now we understand. There are different devotional activities such as hearing, chanting, remembering, worshipping, offering prayer, rendering service, and surrendering everything. And each of them can be divided into 3 qualitative categories. There is a hearing in the mode of passion, in the mode of goodness, mode of ignorance. Similarly, there is chanting in the mode of ignorance, passion, and goodness. 3 multiplied by 9 equal to 27. And when again multiplied by 3, it becomes 81. One has to transcend all such mixed materialistic devotional service in order to reach the standard of pure devotional service. Now, next 2 verses also important. This is all Lord Kapil Dev is instructing Mother Devahuti. Mad guna struti matrena mai sarva guhasaye mano gatir rabichinna yata gangambaso ambudo. Lakshanam bhakti yogasya nirgunasya udahratam mahayituki avyavita ya bhakti purushottame. The manifestation of unadulterated devotional service is exhibited when one's mind is attracted to hearing transcendental name and qualities of Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is residing in everyone's heart. just as the water of the Gangas flows naturally down toward the ocean. Such devotion, ecstasy, uninterrupted by any material condition, flows toward the Supreme Lord. So the basic principle of this unadulterated pure devotion service is love of Godhead. Mat guna sruti matrena means just after hearing about transcendental qualities of Supreme Personality of Godhead. These qualities are called nirguna. Supreme Lord is uncontaminated by the modes of material. Therefore, is attracted to the pure devotee. Avihita means without cessation. A pure devotee must engage in the service of the Lord 24 hours a day without cessation. His life is so molded that every minute, every second, he engages in some sort of devotion service to Supreme Personality of Godhead. Another meaning of the word Avyavita is that the interest of the devotee and interest of the Supreme Lord are on the same level. The devotee has no interest but to fulfill the transcendental desire of the Supreme Lord. Such spontaneous service unto the Supreme Lord is transcendental or is never contaminated by material modes of nature. These are the symptoms of the pure devotion service. So you can understand where we stand. So we are not 24/7. We can understand now the important aspect. This is the most important in this in today's verse and class. Sandehan Samalochana. And how to avoid, what kind of hearing or kind of chanting we are doing. So, Tasmat Sarvatmana Rajan Hari Sarvatra Sarvada Srotavyasya Kirtitavyasya Smartavyasya Bhagavan Runam. This is 2:36 verse. Prabhupada, very important purport. O King, it is therefore essential that every human being hear about, glorify, and remember the Supreme Personality of Godhead always and everywhere. Sri Sukadeva Goswami begins this verse with Tasmat. Therefore, because in the previous verse he has already explained that no auspicious means for salvation other than sublime process of Bhakti Yoga. The Bhakti Yoga is practiced by the devotees in different methods like hearing, chanting, remembering, serving the lotus feet of the Lord, worshipping, praying, rendering service in love, becoming friendly, and offering all that one may possess. All 9 methods, important line, please pay attention. All 9 methods are bona fide methods, and either all of them, some of them, or even one of them can bring about the desired result of the sincere devotee. But, this is the most important, but out of all 9 different methods, the first one, namely hearing, is the most important function in the process of Bhakti Yoga. Without hearing sufficiently and properly, again, without hearing sufficiently and properly, no one can make any progress. No one can make any progress by any of the methods of practice. And for hearing only, all the Vedic literatures are there, compiled by authorized persons like Vyasadeva, who is the powerful incarnation of Godhead. And since it has been ascertained that the Lord is the super soul of everything, he should therefore be heard and glorified everywhere and always. That is the special duty of the human being. Very, very important point. That's why we may be hearing. That's the first class we discussed when we started this on the Zoom at the COVID time 2-3 years ago. First class in Act of Mission, verse number 8. This is what we discussed. Sravanam, Varana, Sravana Dasha, Varana Dasha, Sampatti Dasha, Samadhi stages. That's why there should be absorption, recollection, contemplation. That's why hearing must be with rapt attention. That's why your Prabhupada is making that significant point. Why it is 18 to 8, these many times, these many types of devotion service, because our hearing is not at the highest level. Our chanting is not at the highest level. That's why when we chant, we must hear. Sravanam and Kirtanam is the topmost. That's why you see, even when the tree or plant is growing, especially at the time of the flowers, sun must be super hot. And water also you must give a lot. It takes a lot of water. It takes a lot of heat. That's why you see when it is too hot yesterday, flowers are blooming like anything. So when you put water in the evening or in the early morning before sun comes, then it takes, it grows nicely. Flowers will come out, even tulsi, marani plants, you will see the birds will come suddenly in a single day. For many days it won't come, but because of that too much heat and too much, and you put sufficient water. So that's why Sravanam Kirtanam is the with proper attention, undivided attention one must give to the hearing. So that's why this is the process of Prabhupada has given. That's why you have to pay attention when we read Shastra with proper faith and remember and reflect on those verses and apply, put in practice. Then only, otherwise it's very difficult to progress. We might be chanting and hearing for many lifetimes, but there may not be much progress because it is not really done with proper attention. So as Prabhupada is making that point, and then it must be done in the association of devotees. It's not that I will sit at home and I will read myself. No, That Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is mentioning, Krishna Bhakti Janma Mola Haya Sadhu Sangha, Krishna Prema Janma Tena Puna Mukyanga. The root cause of devotion service to Lord Krishna is the association with advanced devotees. Even when one's dormant love for Krishna awakens, association with devotees is still more essential, even at the highest stages. So that's it's very important that we, in the association of devotees, we hear, we read, we chant. So this is very important because that is inspiration, that enthusiasm. It helps us by the association. Mahat Krupa Vina Kona Karme Bhakti Anyaya. Krishna Bhakti Dure Rahu Samsara Nahakshaya. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu further instructing Sanatana Goswami. Unless one is favored by a pure devotee, one cannot attain the platform of devotion. To say nothing of Krishna Bhakti, one cannot even be relieved from bondage of material existence. You can see that important one. We cannot even come out of the bondage if we don't have the mercy of a pure devotee. Mahat Krupa Vina. So, and the same thing is explained in Bharat Maharaj to Rahu Gana. He himself is quoting his own example. Rahu Gana tapasa na yati na cha ijaya nirva panat gruhatva na chandansa naiva jalagni suryair vina mahat padarajo abhishekam. O King Rahu Gana, without taking up one's head the dust from the lotus feet of pure devotee, Mahajana or Mahatma, one cannot attain devotion service. Devotion service is not possible to attain simply by undergoing severe austerities, penances, by gorgeously worshipping the deity, or by strictly following rules and regulations of sannyas or grahastha order. Nor it is attained by studying the Vedas, submerging oneself in water, or exposing oneself to fire or scorching sunlight. So this is in Jadabharta. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is instructing Sanatana Goswami, quoting this example, and this is in 5.12.12. Jadabharta is instructing Rahu Gana how much it is important. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard Prahlad Maharaj, and because Prahlad Maharaj is constantly thinking 24/7 and taking the association of devotees. He is giving his association. He is teaching us, and Dhruva Maharaj also. So that's why he has heard. Gadadhara Sammukhe Purden Bhagavata Suniye Prakash Prabhu Krishna Bhavayoto Dhruvera Charitra Ara Prahlada Charitra Sata Vritti Korea Sunen Savahita. Again and again, Lord carefully listened to the stories about Dhruva and Prahlad that were read to him by Gadadhar Pandit from Srimad Bhagavatam. As the Lord sat before Gadadhar, he manifested so many moods of love for Krishna. So we can understand how. That's why 6 Ashtakam is also every day we chant it. Prabhupada process exactly we have to follow. Nothing. Then we definitely get, without a doubt. Prabhura 6 Ashtaka sloka yehi pade sune Krishna prema bhakti tare bade dine dine. If anyone recites or hears these 8 verses of instruction by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his ecstatic love and devotion for Krishna increase day by day. That means we have to be with humble mood, but seriously pray to the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Panchatatva. Then we can, by reading this Chaitanya 6 Ashtakam, 8 verses, morning, afternoon, evening, remembrance like Samsaradav also, Guru and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this way, then we can day by day our ecstatic love and for Krishna devotion for Krishna and Guru and Krishna will increase. Now pregnancy of Diti has been described. So it is not the first time. Even before when the Diti was, this is after maybe, there are 2 examples are there. Before that, let's even look at even Sukadeva Goswami's own example. How many years he was there in the womb? 12 years. In some places it's 16 years, but Prabhupada's own purport you'll see in 9th canto. 12 years. He didn't want to come out. So it is possible. It is not that impossible. It is not something written fictitiously. So the 12 years Sukadeva Goswami is there. He didn't want to come out. Vyasadeva said, you will not be contaminated by 3 modes of material nature, because he was in the family business, attracted to kids seemingly. So that's why Sukadeva Goswami, seeing his father, he didn't want it to come out. He gave assurance, but still he didn't take. He didn't take that assurance. Then Vyasadeva himself had to go to Dwarka. Prabhupada is mentioning this in the purport in 9th canto. Vyasadeva himself had to go to Dwarka, bring Lord Krishna personally. Then Lord Krishna has given assurance to Sukadeva Goswami. Then only he came out from the womb of mother. There also another thing is mentioned that there was also girl. There was another Sukadeva Goswami. When Vyasadeva was very much aggrieved, Sukadeva Goswami immediately left home after 12 years. As soon as he came out from the womb, he left home, and then he was very much aggrieved. In Srimad Bhagavatam beginning, I think fourth chapter or so, you will see that how Vyasadeva is agreed. Seemingly, it's not that he's contaminated with three modes. Then Sukadeva Goswami produced another replica of himself, Sukadeva Goswami. That description is there in 9th canto. Prabhupada is making that point, King Drupa. And then that Sukadeva Goswami married daughter of another person. So then there is a succession of living entities also from there. So that you can understand, it's not that it's only one time it has happened. So 100 years. So Diti has pregnancy. You will see that also in 9 varshas. Different details are there because we have to read Srimad Bhagavatam, then we know, we'll have faith. In 9 islands, Jambu Dvipa, there are 7 islands. Like Jambu Dvipa, there are other islands. Within that Jambu Dvipa, there are 9 varshas. Bharata Varsha is one of them. Total earthly planet, there are 7 islands. Jambu Dvipa, within that there are 9 varshas. Within that Jambu Dvipa, within that one varsha is Bharata Varsha. There are other varsha, Ketumala, Bharatavasa, there are other mentioned. So in these places, it is mentioned. So Prabhupada is making that point in the purport, Canto 5, Structure of the Universe. The people, the living entities who go to the heavenly planet, enjoy and come down, where they will go? Not earthly planet directly. This is the heavenly planets on the earthly planet. Where? Except the Bharata Varsha, the other 8 Varshas, how many people? They live for 10,000 years. 10,000 years within the earthly planet. 8 Varshas, not in the Bharata Varsha though. It is other. It is like almost like heavenly planets. They come down from the once they finish their the pious credit from a heavenly planet, real heavenly planet, Swar Loka, come down to this Bhuloka, but with, not in the other Bharata Varsha, but in the other Varshas, other 8 Varshas, Ramik Varsha, Ketumal Varsha, there are so many Varshas mentioned. In that they live and they engage in union, but they will have only one time pregnancy. Last year. So these many years. So there is nothing is astonishing here. And the fruits and it is mentioned some of the fruits are like elephant. So when they fall down, it creates a nice juices and rivers. People are getting the nice fragrance. Even the mango fruit, jambu fruit, all these details are mentioned. One fruit is like a mountain. Mango fruit is like a mountain. So everything must be understood through a shastra. So Diti followed through. Diti had 100 years pregnancy, even when these 49 Maruts, Indra killed, went inside the womb because Kashyap Muni has given the blessing. 100 years he can live. So 100 years she has to keep. And she performed the Savana sacrifice. This is explained in Padma Puran. 100 years she had kept in the womb. Even in the next, this Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu were killed. Then she was very much angry and then she wanted a son who can kill Indra. So then Kashyap Muni has given the blessing. Then 100 years, that time also, she kept the pregnancy. And then these 49 Marus, one living entity, but Indra killed all of them, had broken them, but still they couldn't be dead. He couldn't kill them because Kashyap Muni has given the blessing. So 49 Marus became exalted personalities. Time is up already, so I'll stop here. Much more to say. Thank you very much, Hare Krishna. Gandharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you, Krishna. I'd like to wish you all a safe and Krishna conscious day ahead. We'd like to offer our prayers to the Supreme Lord by chanting 3 times Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Shri Nrsimha, Jai Nrsimha, Jai Jai Nrsimha,
Lingam Ogram
Praviram Vishnulantam Sarvatomukam Narsimham Vishnam Bhadram Vishnumadhyo Namamyam.
Nrsimha Bhagwan ki
Jai,
Raj ki
Jai.
Let's offer our humble obeisons. Vancha
Kalpatarubhasya Kripasindhu Bhave Nitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo
ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। शिला प्रभु
जय
की जय।
की जय।
गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि
हरि हरि हरि बोल।
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Thank
Namananda.
you everybody. Hari
Thank you,
Bol.
everybody.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna, thank you.